My name's Tim Pangburn, and I'm an alcoholic. Um, I started drinking when I was 15 years old. I was a very anxious and worried child. So, as I hit adolescence and, started going through all that fun teenage stuff, I often found myself like as an outsider. I wasn't as accepted. I wasn't very popular, and I felt awkward. I was kind of an overweight kid. I got picked on a lot. Um, I started getting depressed when I was a teenager. A lot of teenagers get depressed. I mean, teen angst and all that good stuff. Um, I I thought that maybe if I drank and if I smoked pot and did all this stuff that that would bring me some kind of happiness. That I would be able to fight off these bad feelings I was having. And I probably should have realized that my drinking career was not going to be a good one when the third time I ever drank, 15 years old, I ended up in the hospital for alcohol poisoning. This would be a repeating thing that would happen several times over the next 20 years. Uh, not to mention the blackouts and the arguments and the broken things and the suicide scares and the depression and the anxiety and just terrible things. There was so much inside of me that I didn't know how to handle. Um, I still don't know how to handle a lot of it. I work on it. I work really hard now. I think, I think a lot of people, have, we're complex creatures. We're very complex creatures, and our brains do a lot of things we don't understand. We can't always make sense of what we feel and how we feel it and why we feel it. And those things are scary. And when you're scared and you feel alone, you don't always know who to talk to about it. It's hard to admit these things sometimes, especially when you feel like you're supposed to be strong. Like me, I'm a man. I'm a man. I should be able to take care of myself. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to be strong. What I knew how to do was when I started feeling like that, I knew how to run to a bottle. I knew how to go pick up a bottle, shut the whole night down, shut everything down. And I put a lot of people through a lot of hell for years. Like I said, 20 years. First time I tried to get sober, I was 30 years old. Uh, and it didn't last very long. It didn't stick. I went to AA for a little bit, and then I left. I was like, this isn't for me. Took me another 5 years after that to finally get scared and get a wake up call. And I just realized that the way I had been living my life was no way to live. I was miserable. I would drink myself to sleep. I'd wake up and want to die, and that was how I felt every day. From outside appearances, I have great things going for me. I have a good career. I have a wonderful family, beautiful kids, beautiful fiance. None of it really mattered. Um, because it doesn't matter how things look from the outside. When you're on the inside and you feel alone, you feel that pain. You feel alone, and there is nobody that can understand it. But the truth is, there's a lot of people that can understand it. There's a lot of people out there that are going through the same exact thing. Uh, I've been through it. I'm going through it. Uh, I've been sober. Next Friday, I'll be sober for 6 months. It's the first time I've ever done that, and I feel really good about it. Um, it's been tough. It's up and down sometimes. I go to therapy. I've gotten back into studying Buddhism and back in the meditation routine, and a lot of mindfulness practices and present moment awareness. And I go to AA. I practice my 12 steps, even though I am not a religious person. I do not believe in God, but I have found a way to not shut down the Alcoholics Anonymous program just because I don't believe in God. There's good to be learned all over the place. That was a big hurdle for me. It still is sometimes. But anyway, I'm really rambling. I just wanted to talk a little bit about, a little bit about where I was coming from with how I felt, and the things I'm doing as an alcoholic in recovery now to try to make myself a better person, and just to let you guys know that, you know, if you're going through this, if you have a problem with drinking or with drugs, there is a way out of it. There are always ways out. And there are people that listen. There's people that care. I care. I do care. Anybody that's going through that, I know your pain. I feel your pain. If you are and you don't know who to reach out to, you can email me. There's right on my page. There's an email address. You can just email me, and I'll be happy to talk to you and help you any way I can. Give you whatever resources I know. I'm not like a teacher or anything, but I can. Anybody that's been through it will be happy to talk about it, and I'm happy to talk about it. I'm gonna start posting videos about the progress of my recovery and just what I'm learning about it. Um, maybe if I reach out, maybe somebody out there will know that there's help and that there's a way out. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I'm Tim, and I'm an alcoholic.